It's impossible to say that there wouldn't be a challenge, but
who knows as the pressure continues to grow.
Not everybody is happy with every piece of it.
It's great to have a policy, but if we can't enforce it, it doesn't mean anything.
I think it's really great that the city is taking an effort to look into a policy that regulates short-term rental because within the last 2 years, the number of short-term rentals within Chinatown has grown exponentially. I really think that the mayor's policy can be stronger so that it can actually be enforced. Because right now, one of the biggest concerns across different neighborhoods in Boston is that short-term rental will take over housing, much needed housing for people who live there in the community in the long term. One of the things that we feel like that should be changed is that there should not be an investor class for that policy. They should completely eliminate that and should not be allowed because that's not the purpose of some of these short-term rental platforms are for. The consequence of doing this type of renting is that a lot of neighborhoods will be destroyed. As you could see in a lot of European countries, major cities, right? All you see is Airbnb, and that is not a community. So if you want Chinatown to be a community and we want it to be a neighborhood for people who are here, who lives here, we don't want it to be and that is not a tourist destination, then we have to make sure that this trend doesn't continue.
There are really good things to the policy. Mostly what we're against is the Section D, which allows private investor units. When there's big corporations buying up units and then just put them up as short-term rentals, then that's a problem because it limits how much affordable housing or housing stock in general there can be in Boston.
I mean, I think that the mayor's framework is good in that it lays out these 3 different categories, but then why did you treat the 2 categories the same, right? Like a 90-day limit for, I think, individual who goes on vacation or whatever, that seems fine. But for the investors, I mean, so here's the thing, 90 days might seem like a limit, versus 365 days now theoretically that you can rent. But these things only rent about 1 out of every 3 days they're listed. So it's actually not gonna do too much to their business model. It's pretty much they're gonna be allowed to operate as they are now. And we think the way that they're operating now is a problem. We actually want some of those units returned to long-term housing.
So this is my house, my apartment, but when I go on vacation, I rent the whole place while I'm not here. If people have more than 3 units, and they don't live in, maybe they should be taxed on 1 unit, something like that, not taxing everyone. Mm-hmm. Some people, they're just renting 1 room just to have an extra money. Those people shouldn't be taxed, in my opinion.